This one is what he gave me last week, and I was first intending to grow that one on this.
Okay.
But I don't think it's quite large enough, so I'm going to put the Layla that I have over there on this. And then he showed me this interesting thing. You can see
Oh.
there's a hole here.
Yeah.
So what he did was, obviously there was a woodpecker making a home here. So when he cut it and found out what was going on. So I'm going to use it. I think it's interesting. Maybe the plant will put all its roots in here.
Ron, are you serious?
There's the advantage of these. See how light this is?
Yes.
I mean,
With me? Huh.
it's
yes.
very light.
Yes.
So you can hang it on even this rickety structure. And it's usually no problem, right? You start getting some media on here and a plant that starts getting really established, it'll get heavy. So you have to watch for that. But I have another piece of wood. See the difference?
Yes.
It's like 8 times, 9 times, 10 times heavier. So that,
I see.
see how everything, you got to watch what you put on here. So I could put it in the corner. It's heavy, better.
Or put it on the ground, right?
This one actually I had in mind to just grow it, grow it like that.
You know what? I would suggest to put it close to something and wipe it or something, right? Using wire to establish it.
You know what a lot of people do? They just stick it in a bucket
Yeah.
in some bark or dirt and just let it grow in a bucket.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's easier. This also has the added advantage, like I was explaining last time, have the natural properties of fending off molds and mildew and all these other problems that we have with some of these mounts. Some of the wooden mounts.
What about this one? I missed it. Who is this guy?
This piece of wood?
This one?
Oh, this is another Clysostoma. It's called Jamata. Forgetting now. Oh, it's from Java.
Can you put your hand up? Yeah. Give me a sec.
They got these wide sprays. Last year it had one.
So tiny.
Yeah, these were actually a little larger last year. I think it's concentrating all these new growths. Because see how this is kind of dried and withery? Because it wants to live here for now. It wants to do both. I don't know if it has enough power right now. It wants to definitely express itself here sexually with the flowers, but then
Can I catch you one more time?
There's the problem I don't think I illustrated before with this particular flower. Okay, so we went through with the angel inside, right?
Yeah.
But do you see that marking in there? Okay, if you look at it closely, you'll see that it's been literally carved off, just run right across the surface. Something's eating just the surface of that flower. The flower has a thickness.
Can I try? Probably it's nice.
I know exactly what it is. It's slugs. So,
don't move, please.
first time I see a slug, one of those, then I have to go and I see this on the outside, and that's a dead sign that they're. Yeah. So I just slug bait. I wrestle with them, trying to pick them, coming out here at night with a flashlight and picking them off
What is
for
the
all
name?
this time, and then
For
I
me
realized
it's like angel plant, but how you call it?
Adelaide.
No.
Pleurothallus is the genus. The the main genus.
Name?
And it's called Adelaide, Adelae, Adelaide. Ecuador, I believe. Well, Brazil, I think. Here's one
Andy,
mini,
Andy.
small ones. Right now, little lanterns. There's one. A slug hasn't found that one yet.
What about this one? I missed it.
Yes, that one is the Christiansonianum. It's a vandaceous orchid.
Can you show me the label?
Vietnam, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, there is one more at the bottom.
There's got a new growth there. They tend to cluster at the bottom like this, and it'll start building one big plant that way. But I was so pleased to see this year it gave me a bloom.
Yeah, like you.
This is a friend in Hollywood, Ulysses Aban. He gifted me this, but I treat it basically. It's just sleepover here. And when he feels he can have his conditions are so tough up in North Hollywood that.
What's the problem with North Hollywood? Is
Huh?
it hot or what?
Oh, it's just because I'm a couple miles north, and already you're in the heat of San Fernando Valley, which is just an oven. So he's a little better off there, but still he's challenged. He felt it would do better here, and I think it has. At least it bloomed this year.
What about this guy?
This guy
This one.
is driving me crazy. 3 years. I grew it from one stalk, and it's all this, and it's not bloomed one time for me.
Really?
This is a Maxillaria funicalis. It's grown it grows in Ecuador, along the banks. To me, it looks healthy as you want. I don't understand why it won't bloom. I don't get it. Not all that many people. I got it from a person who grew it in a greenhouse. There's a chance that I'm giving it actually too much light here, even though it's not showing burning or any of that. Maybe its comfort zone would be something on the other side where it's not as bright. And I thought I would give it this whole season one more shot out here, and before I brought it back around the other side and say, okay, if you really want it shady, then that's what you get. And really pretty yellow, purple, magenta flowers. Maxillaria is a really interesting genus. Grows all throughout South America. Here's one. Well, it's called Mormolaica. This one here.
Which one?
It's this one. Now this one, you can see all these spent bloom spikes. Mormolaica ringens. And
Can you give me
actually, if you shot this from the other side, you would see how large. Again, these bulbs. Well, that shows it.
Can you give me a tag?
This bulb, pseudobulb, is huge. So that again shows how much I water. And this plant bloomed from late December all the way till it just stopped. So almost 8 months straight of blooming constantly.
8 months.
I don't even know what the normal season for blooming of this
Ron, my point is you gave awesome advertisement to Andy Orchid, because each, let's say 2 from 3 is from Andy, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't get a lot of these direct from Andy. That could be just an Andy tag,
I see.
to be
I
honest with
see.
you. But
okay.
likely, yes, it is a tribute, and without him, we would miss him dearly
Yeah.
because of all his efforts of promoting species from everywhere and having all those connections from all those years. And he's been doing this since he was a young teen, even before that, I think.
Yeah.
So, going to on location and learning all about the plants in their real life habitat and bringing back tons of information on how to grow what, where, and when, etc.
What about this one? Teeny.
Yeah, that's a Dendrobium Prentisii. I don't know the pronunciation, but another one of the succulent-like things. You almost think that this could grow in the desert,
Yeah.
Great, It is toning back finally, a little more greener.
Is it new growth?
I had it in too bright a light, and it was getting way too dark. And not that it was unhappy. It's just the tannicins and the chlorophyll cells. They react to the light that way for protection. They'll make the growth darker. This is just for I just like a greener looking plant. It does bloom, even at this size. I've seen them this big.
Wow.
They tend to grow in a big ball. If I had known that, I would have mounted it higher on the stake. I'm going to end up with a big ball on the end of this stick. But, oh well. Starting to run out of light. Yeah, this is the one I wanted to complain about. This is Pecten veneris. It's a bulbophyllum. I've had 3 years, and it has yet to bloom for me too. I've had it in every location in the grow area. I've done less watering, more watering. Don't know what else is left to do. It has grown. It was just this. It has grown all this, but it doesn't want to bloom. And this is a Ceropetalum, a class of bulbophyllum that at one time they had called Ceropetalum. But now they've brought the name back to bulbophyllum. But to me, these are Ceropetalums, this type where you see all this close growth of pseudobulbs and a smaller plant, This one only put out one spike this year, and this one, which is red, this Ferrari, or it could be Yasni, but a Ferrari type, I think. I don't know. Ulysses is going to kill me for screwing this up. I could never remember right. That one has a beautiful red flower with orange tips, and they're umbel type like this. This is called umbel.
Yeah, I remember.
They grow in a little umbrella. I don't know. They're not doing well this year. They're shrinking. I water them and give them just as much love and care as everyone else in the family, but I don't know. They probably could have took a hit last year in the winter, even though it wasn't that severe, as the previous winter was extremely severe. I don't know. I haven't been growing them long enough to be able to say. I mean, they're not the most inexpensive plants, so you have to trial
This
and
one
error.
is expensive.
Huh?
$38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me, that's a good price for a plant. I mean, it's nice that it grows for me for 2 years, and I get at least some mileage out of it. But
I see.
if it's some of these plants I got for $2. Here's an Andes special, $3.
Wow.
Now it was smaller than this, and then it grew to that. Of course, big pseudobo because of my watering,
Yeah.
and then has a new growth. $3.
Cannot believe.
Hasn't bloomed yet, but you know, I love the look of it. Some of these I'll just grow just because I love the way they look. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to bloom. It would be nice that it cooperated, just to have some variety. Another time you'll have to come when all this is really flushing. And a lot of these pleurothallus that are in the shadier area here tend to bloom more when it's cooler and cold in winter and early spring or late fall.
Call me.
Yeah.
Will come.
I will.
Thank you, Ron.
You can't miss it. I mean, this
I
one
cannot.
especially. These two, when they go, I want you to really see these. They're amazing. And maybe if I'm lucky, these little guys will give me flowers too.
Okay. Ciao, Ricardo. Thank you so much.
Till next time.
See you.